Welcome, everybody, to Wealth for Generations. This is episode number 30, 14. 14.
think.
Sorry about that, folks. Getting mixed up with my episodes there. We're on episode number 14. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have some of my DLK stuff up here today. And before we get started today, I have a little surprise for you all. I just wanted to take some time out. Hopefully, you guys take some time out with me too, as well. And I just want to give some respect to my homie Huck. Tomorrow is his birthday. He would be turning 39, I believe. I think he was a year older than me. He passed away a while ago. That was my brother from another mother. That's why I got this jersey on, represent Huck. Hold on just a second. I got to show y'all. Damn. So all you guys who know me, that really know me, know that me and David Hoyt were tight like shoelaces. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my boy Huck. Tomorrow is his birthday, September 5th. Happy birthday, Huck. So without any further ado, I'd like to get into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the importance of self-care. But first, before we get fully into the show, I need to introduce some people to you guys. I have my lovely co-host for today, Miss Jessica Marrero. And to my right, to the ricket right, we got the engineer of all engineers, Mr. Dip to the lean.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are we doing today, folks?
Good.
Phew, man, Labor Day tomorrow. What you cooking, bro?
I'm cooking protein shakes and fruit smoothies.
Okay.
We're actually not really much of a holiday people.
No.
Crazy enough, yeah. Yep, I'm one of
That's
those
good,
people.
man. And keep your money in your pocket, man. There's another reason to fucking spend money.
I mean,
so.
that's one reason that
drink.
pushes me to
Mhm.
yep.
That's all it
that.
is, man.
It is,
I might
man.
get a couple, some chicken or something just to grill because I never do it. So it's just a reason just to throw something on the grill for a couple minutes.
Right.
But
And then
other
for
than
me
that,
personally too, man, I've been in the industry for
what industry?
the main like food and beverage industry.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
We just call it, when you're in the industry, you just call
Call
it
it
the
industry.
industry.
Oh,
But I'm
okay.
sorry. I've been in the food and beverage industry as far as like cooking, restaurants,
Catering.
hotel catering, all that stuff for years, man, over a decade. And we're working on the holidays.
Mhm.
So Labor Day to me is I get double pay.
Maybe.
Maybe,
You're lucky.
maybe. I've never really been in a position where it's like, oh, Labor Day, we got the day off. Nope. I'm
No.
cooking for those SRP people who are having a
Yeah.
barbecue on Labor Day. For those American Express people that get those those company parties for the holidays. Yeah, that's me cooking for you. Here you go, sir.
Hey.
Merry Christmas. Here's your omelet, your breakfast omelet, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna be talking about self-care today, and I have a really, really big announcement. I don't like the drums on here, so that's my drums. I'm gonna have a really, really big announcement, but you got to stay tuned to the end. Okay, that's the only way you're gonna get the announcement is if you stay tuned till the end. Okay, all right, you got it. Okay, but without any further ado, we're gonna do the first segment of the show, which is health is wealth. So, Jessica, tell us what you got for us today.
It's on the paper that I typed up for you.
What? You mean you don't remember what you have?
Well, I know it's about the float spa, but I don't remember all the information.
So if you see any random pictures popping up, like around here area, I think, and like blue little, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, it looks kind of like a recuperation chamber, the little water chambers they have. But today we're going to be talking about flotation therapy, also known as isolation therapy or sensory deprivation deprivation therapy. And it's pretty cool because we didn't, just to let you know, we didn't necessarily plan this.
Well, I don't even know what the hell that is. Is it the
No?
things in these bubbles and tubs?
Yeah.
The
Oh,
people in the
okay.
blue water and stuff.
Sure, like man, I don't know.
It's very,
It
very
looks
relaxing.
like a super or futuristic kind of pool pod.
Yeah, I thought they was just swimming.
Actually, that's probably the best description for it. It looks like a futuristic pool pod.
It's supposed to simulate the feeling of being in the womb.
There you go. This is a popular practice of spending an hour or more floating peacefully within a flotation tank or float room.
Some Michael Jackson shit, man.
Seriously, he probably was on that shit.
Right.
And they're talking about practicing all his practicing all his ad libs and stuff in there, like Jamon. Anyways, the floating effect is achieved through a water and Epsom salt solution, which makes the water so buoyant that you're floating instead of sinking. To further the effect, all distractions have been removed, such as light or visual stimuli. Sense of touch due to the water being the same temperature as your skin, and sense of smell due to the Epsom salt, nullifying any other sense, leaving you with the feeling of floating on a nimbus cloud.
Mhm.
And what is this good for, you may ask? It relieves stress, anxiety, depression, reduces chronic fatigue caused by insomnia and jet lag. It can stimulate your creativity. It can accelerate mental clarity and learning. Deepen meditation practices. You should, if you do it, you probably should be meditating while you're in there.
Probably fall asleep.
You probably would, or you could if you're not a kung fu master, but
I always
um,
fall asleep.
so it's probably not a bad thing though, because you ain't gonna drown.
No, you're not going to drown.
So
Super
go ahead and
comfortable.
fall asleep. Take a little nap. Soothe chronic pain from arthritis, fibro. Dang, I said it right when I said it. I
Fibromyalgia.
got this. I got this. Soothe chronic pain from arthritis, fibromyalgia. Boom. I just got to say it fast. That's all. Back and neck pain, inflammation, and tendonitis. Improve athletic performance. It can decrease muscular tension caused by daily stresses and prolonged sitting, like me doing those deliveries, even though I've been on that yard work. But the deliveries be having me sitting in my back, my back and my neck and my back. Improve circulation and reduce blood pressure, accelerate healing, strengthens the immune system. So those are a few of the things that the flotation therapy can help you with and is good for. So have you ever tried, or well, obviously you haven't tried. You said you didn't even know you were
Right.
looking at Dip. Does that look like something that could be? It's almost like a different kind of massage in a sense. You know
I
what I
don't know,
mean? It's just
bro.
something relaxing to.
I'm kind of claustrophobic, man. I'm not gonna even lie to
Yeah.
you, but
They have
I'll try
rooms.
it.
They have ones that are like you go into like a big,
Yeah,
not a big
actually, they
room,
had.
but a room. So
Yeah.
it's tall and there's a door.
How long you got to be in there?
It said
It's usually an
about
hour
an
to
hour.
2.
Oh hell no.
But you could probably go in there and
Yeah,
meditate.
I need a room because I couldn't.
But actually, I did see one of the rooms. I just didn't get I didn't grab that picture because it was just there was like a blue light in there, and it was just really hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like the one that was like an actual the room. It looked like almost a jacuzzi kind of set up, and like the whole room had like that bluish hue, like you see in the pods on there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just I didn't want to bring it up because it was already messing with my eyes when I was looking at it. I was like, that's bright, and that's just a picture. Like, but let's get on move on down the road. So the importance of self-care. So first and foremost, I want to make sure that we get rid of the common misconception of self-care is part of like being selfish and being self-indulgent. Like self-care is not about being selfish and taking more than you need, but it's about taking what you need. Don't be I don't know what would be the opposite of selfish. Don't be not selfish. Don't disregard yourself. You know? So The first misconception of self-care is a lot of people think that you're being selfish when you're trying to take the time for yourself. They don't understand and they don't see. It's almost like that manager mentality when you know you did all this work when the manager wasn't around, but then the manager walks into the room and you're standing there talking to your coworker. They're like, "Oh, you're not working. What are you doing?" It's only what they see. So if they are contacting you and all the time you're like, "Oh, I'm going to the spa today. I need my self-care." And they just happen to hit you on that time, they may think you're being selfish, but it's not. You need that spa day. You need it. If that's the way you indulge in your self-care. Do you have any self-care practices, Jess?
The float tank is one of them.
You don't do that
Massages.
regularly though.
No, not regularly, but
What's
when I
something you
need it.
do? What's something you do like what's a regularly self-care? Like maybe like a weekly or a monthly or
Juicing,
juicing? That's a good one. That's a good one. Um,
napping when I
napping.
can.
That's a very good one though. That's a very good one. You don't want to mess with your sleep too much. And if it does get interrupted, there's nothing wrong with taking a nap, Elijah. I know. But do it. I don't want to. But Dip, do you have any self-care practices that you have, sir?
Uh,
When you get home, Aisha massages your feet for you, or
nah, nah, man. I'm not that type G. As long as I'm, you know what I'm saying, smoking a little ganja, you know what I'm saying,
and
I'm all
that
right.
counts. That
Yeah,
counts,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I guess that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Because
Just
for
kick
the
back a little bit, you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
lay
for the
back,
regular
put on something that
users,
I'm not paying attention to on the TV.
hopefully it's not watching you in an hour. The
Right,
TV.
right. Yeah, it probably will because I don't get any sleep anymore. So, but yeah.
Yeah, man. And actually, you know what? On that note, shout out to Aisha because I learned a couple weeks ago
Hmm.
that she's allergic to caffeine,
Yeah,
and y'all
yeah.
got a little baby, and I'm just like, I just go ahead, Aisha, man. I'm sorry for your allergies.
Yeah, I don't
I was
I don't
just
even
like,
mess with it myself. So weird.
she was so weirded out by me too because I was like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You're allergic to caffeine and you have a baby. Like, how are you living right now? How are you getting through life?" But basically I just want to get on the topic of self-care and let people know that it doesn't have to be anything grand. It can be the most minuscule thing. It's just about making sure that you take time for yourself and make sure that you are happy.
Mhm.
And one of the main reasons I wanted to touch on it today is because this one is about the entrepreneur community. Because even myself, I know sometimes I go really hard. I know, Mr. Dip, you got to be putting in work. You got your bills job, and then you got your dream job.
I just thought about it,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
I I work about 60 hours a week,
That's
man.
there's people out there, man. That's like I got my 40 and I'm done. I ain't doing nothing
Yeah,
else.
because when
Nothing.
the weekend comes, I put in at least eight a day, man.
Yeah.
8 every day, and then just your regular 40. That's
Yep.
56 there. And during the week, I work on the website. I do this, I do that.
Mhm.
I'm at least putting in 60 hours
Yeah, man, we gotta
just to
make sure
try
you
to do
get that
this.
self care. And like I was gonna say, like with the regular smokers, it's the same concept as like back in the day, the way they used to promote cigarettes. You know, you got a long day at work, you get home, you have your cigarette, and you relax and you
Yeah,
chill.
yeah,
So anybody out there that's practicing cannabis smoking or has the habit, it's the same concept. Really,
right.
you work all day, you had your 8 hour shift, you get home, you twist up,
Hey,
you smoke and you relax, and hopefully in an hour the TV isn't watching you. But so some of the things that or actually I'm sorry, before I get into that, one other reason I kind of wanted to get into this is not only for the entrepreneurs but the world as a whole. We have been in a very sensitive time for a while, for at least 2-3 years or so. um So anxiety, depression is on a major rise right now. So we need to make sure that we are doing what we can for others. But if we don't do what we need to do for ourselves, we can't help others. So don't ever think that you taking the time to get in your rest, to get in some relaxation, just to detach from everybody. Excuse me. Don't feel guilty about that. If
It's
you need
super
it, you need it.
important,
It's important. It is very important, you know,
especially if you're a parent,
especially.
because you got to feed into your kids. If you're
Hmm.
tired and cranky and you're not taking care of you, that's going to trickle down.
Yes, yes. And they're always watching. They're always watching. So make sure that you're trying your best to take care of yourself, you know.
Mhm.
So I have a little some facts here. Well, it's not really a fact, but the World Health Organization defines self-care as the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and to cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a healthcare provider. So I'm going to read some of these. There's a couple more of these, and these are just definitions of self care, just to help everyone understand that there's not one path to achieve your own self care. I just want you to know that there's many different definitions of it. There's many different ways of achieving it, and whatever works for you, and may not work for me, may not work for Jess, may not work for Dip. But if it works for you, then that's what you need to do to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Because in the end, especially when you're an adult, if you don't take care of yourself, who is?
Mhm.
You know? So, a 2010 study published by JBI Library of Systematic Reviews defines self care as the set of activities in which one engages throughout life on a daily basis, focusing on promoting health, preventing illness, and managing issues that come up. So, now that I read those two definitions, is there anything extra that pops up for you, Jess, by any chance?
Um,
Like, does that kind of give you a different perspective on it at all, or
no, I mean,
no?
I'm a huge believer in self-care and it being important, and it could look like anything. Whatever fills your cup, it could be painting, it could be meditation, it could be taking a bath,
Mhm.
being creative, playing with your kids even, you know?
Yes.
Sometimes you're busy and you don't get time to just play because you're always
Mhm.
being mom or being dad. And, laughter is huge for the soul.
Yeah, like, I remember this one time I was at this trampoline park. I was trying to climb this wall with my stepkids and stuff, and I looked behind me, and there was this weird lady just staring at me with this grin. And I was like, "What are you looking at, lady?" She's like, "I just enjoy watching you have fun with the kids."
Mhm.
So that's self-care, like, Jess didn't really necessarily wanna get out there and start climbing walls and get out the chalk and powder and everything, start climbing the walls with us, but
Mhm.
she was still indulging in her self-care and enjoying her all her children
Mhm.
playing along together nicely. Mr. Dip, did you hear those, definitions of self-care?
Yeah, most definitely.
Did that happen to kinda give you a different perspective on it at all, or
No,
no? Same kinda
no,
thing?
yeah. I mean, that's what I figured.
Yeah, okay. I just wanna make sure if anything pops up that's out of the ordinary that we voice it so our viewers know that you don't have to go with just the stereotypical stuff. You don't have to go meditate if you're not into meditating. Don't do that. Um, if you're not into, like, going to the gym and working out, sometimes that's some people's self-care. They wanna go to the gym or they wanna go on a run or a hike. You might not be an active person like that, you know what I mean? You might not I'm not a bath person, even though I know they're awesome, but to be honest, after I got to a certain height, I was just kinda like, "I'm not feeling this bath thing anymore. I don't want my knees to be cold." But, there's all kinda different avenues you have. Jess mentioned, tapping into your creativity. I think you said,
Mhm.
drawing or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
I draw. I like to do that
you like to
sometimes.
draw and stuff
Mhm.
sometimes? That's
But
a good one.
now it's it's started to become like a job, so it's a little bit more stressful.
Drawing.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm trying to get to a place, and you're stressed because it's
Oh, you're, like, trying to work on your
I'm trying to build
ability of
a
drawing?
build no, not the ability of drawing, the where it's going, because I'm trying to build something with the characters and what I want it to be. And then it starts getting stressful when you start
Making a
thinking
book?
of, yeah, comic book. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
pretty much done with it. I was in the storyboarding process,
Mhm.
but I've been so busy I haven't been able to do it. So when I do get everything going, that's gonna be my next step. I'm gonna get some people in here, some artists, and we gonna go. So I'm gonna use this little corner here, get
Mhm.
some graphic tablets, man.
Nice,
Get
nice.
some. I just need the
Awesome.
I didn't
people to
know
get it
about that
going,
one.
man. Yeah,
See, so that there you go, though. Boom. I knew we was gonna get another one when
yeah.
you drawing.
Entertainment, man, is what we're about. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to take every path that we can. My whole mission is in the end is first documentaries, then hopefully we can be like iRock and start getting into movies, man. And
Right. I wouldn't mind being an extra in a movie.
hey, man,
I
you know that's the mission,
don't
bro.
know if I ever want to be a star. I don't. That's a lot of. I
Nah,
don't want
me
all
either,
that
man.
attention and all
I
that
don't
stuff.
either.
But I wouldn't mind being a memorable extra, like some
Right.
Chris Rock shit.
I just want to be in the.
How much for one rib? I could do that. I could do that. I could be that guy. How much for one rib? $5, and then you pull out a whole wad.
Right. It's an old movie, man.
Yeah, let me know if you know. If you know what movie that is, why don't you go ahead and hit the comments.
They don't know.
I would doubt it. Somebody's gonna get it. Do you know what movie I'm talking about? You remember the
I
name?
remember the scene, but I can't remember the name.
No. Alrighty, so we got another definition here. A study published by BMC Palliative Care, Palliative, by this place. They did some studies in
Mhm.
2018.
Yeah.
And they came up with this definition here. The self-initiated behavior that people choose to incorporate to promote good health and general well-being. The study authors added that it's about being healthy, but also about incorporating coping strategies to deal with work stressors. So that one, actually, I agree and disagree with, because I don't really think you should be. I don't know if I fully agree with the coping strategies, because I just, to me, coping usually feels. I generally think about um coping in the sense of like trying to get through something that you don't really feel comfortable with and you don't really want to do. So you're just trying to make sure
Deal with
that
it.
you can get through it. And there's certain things in life where, yeah, that may be okay. Like I'll use myself for an example. Right now, during the summer, I've been doing yard work. I do not like it. It sucks. But it is the best paying job that I can find right now. And it puts me in a position to where I could take a Saturday off if I want to. Before, when I was juggling these other jobs and barely making $19, $20 an hour, I had to work 6 days a week, 10-hour days. You know, it was a struggle getting this started.
Right.
So in that sense, yeah, I've incorporated some coping strategies. I made sure that I always got my music. That's one of the biggest things with me when it comes to work and doing work that I don't want to do. If I can go have my music and do it, I'll most likely still do it. So that's one big coping strategy I
I don't know,
use.
bro. Not to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, life is about finding that path where you can have comfort. You know what I mean? We're
Hmm.
not always on that right path. Sometimes, man, you got to take a U-turn. Sometimes you got to make a quick left, man. What I'm saying to you, bro, is this: you got to find happiness in what you're doing. You
Yes.
can't just always cope. You know what I mean? I'm a little older than you, so I can tell you this. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you advice in front of everyone. I know, but I know that's tough. But you got to find a path for you that brings you
I
happiness
found it.
outside
I'm
of.
following you, bro.
I feel you.
That's why I'm staying here.
Right.
That's the main reason why I've stayed in this gig, jumping around kind of lifestyle, because I've always felt like there's there's an opportunity for me to do something with entrepreneurship. And if
Mhm.
I'm on this 9 to 5 on this strict schedule, and I got to ask my boss when I can
Can't
have
get it
time
done.
off, I'm
Can't
not
get
going to be able to be in position for those
no.
opportunities.
Uh-uh.
You know what I
No.
mean?
I mean,
I mean, that's just
I
the way
still work a
personally.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I do have a very flexible
But
job.
you're also in control of what you're doing though right now.
I mean,
You know what
I
I
have a
mean?
pretty flexible
I mean,
job.
I'm fairly in control of the podcast as well, but
Mhm.
still when it comes down to it, if you don't want to be here,
Right.
then I can't come do the podcast.
Right.
You know
No,
what I
you know
mean?
that's not gonna happen.
But for you, it's more of like I know you want to be on a schedule,
Mhm.
but if you wanted to switch up Habari Live, if you wanted to take a day off, if you wanted to do extra
Oh,
day,
yeah,
if
most
you wanted
definitely.
to do a 3-hour special,
Mhm.
you're in full control of all that.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But if you were to come to me and someone was like, "Hey, we love what Elijah's doing. We got this guy that wants to come in, but he wants to do a 2-hour special."
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, they're coming to me and they want to do a 2-hour special or whatever.
Right.
Now I don't have full control of the situation. I have to come okay that with you. I
Right.
got to see if Patrick's going to be coming in after me, if we can switch a day, da 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 da. But if I was on a 9 to 5, I wouldn't even have the opportunity to even finagle that. I
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to sit down and discuss like, hey, well, maybe if we do it on this day instead,
Right.
or do it this day, it'd be like, I got this day and this day. Otherwise, I'm at my other job.
That's real. Well, like I said, man, that's what
But
we all looking for though. You know,
yeah,
is to find that happiness. It's not easy for anyone.
it's
And
not.
hopefully, man, that this can be a good path. I'm hoping. But cause me, business is so hard, man. We're so deep down and we're trying to get so far up. And I want to be able to help the community. I want to be able to pay people salaries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to be able to give equal pay and I want to be that man, that person. But I just know the hard work and time it's gonna take to get there, man, and the dedication
Mm-hmm.
is gonna take from everyone. Yeah, that's
Everybody.
why I try to treat everyone like, hey man, we're all just on the same. We're trying to go to the same place. You know what I mean, I try not my best to try to act like I'm above anyone because I
Yeah.
haven't got anywhere. You know what I
Right.
mean, what have I done? You know what I mean,
Right.
with what I'm doing right now, I'm a nobody.
I mean, you've done a lot, man. I mean, don't I know I do the same thing because
Mhm.
I think you told me last week. I was like, I know I ain't really much, and then you was like, no, man, we got the show.
Right.
But there's a fine line in being humble and not giving yourself credit.
Right.
You know what I mean? We still gotta give ourselves credit
That's true.
as far as what we're doing. As far as like my biggest thing, like I actually have this. This is gonna be a little secret. I'm about to drop out on y'all guys. In my bathroom, I kid you not, on my shower, I have written, "Don't give up, believe."
Mm.
Every day I see that.
Yeah.
Don't give up, believe. And that is a big reason why I'm still doing what I'm doing as far as my career goes.
Right.
Why I don't have a solid career because I've always felt like I'm meant
To do
for
something
something
else.
else.
And
Yeah.
these are things that you're doing just to get you by until you get to that where you're
Yes.
trying to go to.
And then also the little things that I've done to get me into the positions and get me on the right path,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to do. Like when I first started DLK, or not first started it, but when I first started working on the humanitarian part of DLK, like I basically lived with Who I Am Foundation for like a year.
Yeah.
And I did have somewhat of a regular job then,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a part-time and then I had two temp jobs, right? Wasn't that when I had,
Yeah,
I think I was
probably at
at
least 2.
Crescent and party staff, I think it was, or something like that.
Mhm.
But anyways, but it's just because with your regular Monday through Friday 9 to 5, you're not gonna be available to really do much during the week in the evening time unless you're really pushing yourself
Mm-hmm.
because that evening time it should be your relaxing time. That time for you to get your self-care in,
You need some time to
you
And
know,
family
relax, man.
and
time.
your
You need
family
it.
time, and then after that, you should be preparing for tomorrow,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
you got to.
So, it's kinda hard to do anything during the week with that. And then on the weekends, a lot of people are used to doing the Monday through Friday. So then the
Mhm.
weekends is like, "Oh, well, Imma go treat myself because it's
Nah.
the weekend." Instead of doing their self-care during the week,
Right.
they come home, they chill. I mean, they probably do a little bit of self-care, you chill with
That's
your
what most people
family,
do.
you eat, da, da, da,
Yeah, weekend
but
comes, they
but the
chill.
big but the big self-care for the week is on that weekend,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So, I just feel like I would be back in that mindset as well if I was on that schedule.
Right.
So I wouldn't wanna do all the extra stuff. I wouldn't wanna do the volunteering. I wouldn't have wanted to be at First Fridays
Mm.
if I was working at 9 to 5.
Right.
If I had to be at work at 9, I got off at 5. Actually, I don't even know how I would have been able to finagle that. You know what I
I
mean?
couldn't because I couldn't do
Yeah, yeah,
everything I
that's
had to
that's
do.
pretty much why you couldn't go
Yeah,
because
and then I had to do a show,
you had
but
your 9 to 5
yeah,
and then you
but
had a podcast,
right.
and then it just overlapped, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
I
the
can't do
fact that
shit.
I work the way I work, I was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna just take Friday off."
Yeah.
I didn't have to be like, "Hey, boss, so next Friday coming up, got First Fridays. I want to go do this event. Can I do it?" "Oh, well, Elijah, you got to find somebody to cover your shift." And or they might be like, "Oh, well, this is going to be due by Friday. Are you going to be able to have that done still by
Oh,
Friday?"
no.
Or, "Nah, man, I told you I was taking a day off.
Now where I
Like, how am I
work
Well,
going to get it
totally ain't
done?"
good for
and with
that.
gig work too, it's like you can just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this Friday off, so I'll put in 2 extra hours tomorrow, an
Yeah,
extra
and then
hour
that
on
as well
Sunday,"
too.
so you can kinda make it up if you really have to.
Yeah, and actually that's exactly how I work. Like, I'll look at how many days I've put in for the month and then how much money I need to make. So, like, the reason I took yesterday off is because I sat there and looked at my calendar and I was like, all right, I need to make this much money. I got this many days left in the month. I was like, oh shit, I could take today off.
Mhm.
I'm taking today off. And I wanted to do some other stuff too, like business wise, not dealing with the gig work. But so I think we got a little off topic, so let's bring her back. I mean, we are still talking about self-care,
Yeah, most definitely.
most definitely, because the reason that I make my decisions, the reason I put myself in this situation in the way I make my decisions on how and where I go make my money in the end is for my family. For one, the first thought process that comes into my head is I need to make this much money for the month. I need to make sure that I'm putting in this much work. And then once I figure out how much work I got to put in to make the money, then I start looking at, okay, what days can I take off, or how can I finagle this day's schedule so I can be home for dinner, or how can I finagle this day's schedule so I can be home in the morning, but I might have to work at night, so I can still be there and be with my family
Right.
instead of being somebody who's just working, 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 and then because almost every industry has a season as well. So working, 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 and then the season comes, and then now I gotta be putting in overtime.
Mm.
I gotta be doing this and doing that.
Well,
Like,
it matter what if your salary definitely, or if you're just one of those people that have to put in overtime. I mean,
and honestly,
it's dude, your job is a man. When I like I said, it's for me. When I worked in a position where I was unhappy, I was always working after work to figure out a way to get out of that position. It took me a
mhm,
while. It took me a long while for a while because I kept hoping that I could get to a better place. Because to me, it's all about money for me.
mhm,
It's all about money and time. I want my weekends off, number one. I don't want to work after 5 o'clock. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I want to do that. I want my weekends. And you got to me, or I saw where I was at, and I figure out how I need to get to the next plan. And I'm just talking about professionally. I'm not talking about what I
mhm,
do on the side because I still used to rap. I still used to do those things.
mhm,
But it took me a couple minutes to realize, all right, I'm focusing on this music shit. It's not really going anywhere. Let me go ahead and make my decision on what I really want to do professionally for I can be able to get to a point where I can create a business to be able to help more people. Because the more money I'm able to make, the more I can get myself out of this situation. Because I took too long in life to make decisions. I spent my whole 20s not making the right decisions. I shit, I didn't get to 26, 27. This is about self-care. Because you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, you want to care about where you're going. And I just kept seeing that I was not getting to where the place I wanted to.
And see, actually, too, that was one of my big things as well. That's a big reason for Wealth for Generations.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I did kind of just go with the flow. And then because I'm not gonna lie, like I was borderline that same mentality for a while. Because I do have a background in cooking. Like I said, I've been in the food and beverage industry for over a decade. And I just didn't I was doing what I loved, but I got into it not thinking about the pay. So now I'm at a position to where if I want the pay in that industry, I have to take a manager position
Or you have to build your own.
or build my own.
And both of them are
And the
tough,
manager position,
tough.
yeah, it's bullshit unless I can come
60,
in
70 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Easy.
It is.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, to be honest, if I can get in the right place, I can make just as much or more as the manager if I put in the same amount of hours with the overtime.
Well, and usually when you're on salary, they require that you work at least 54 hours a week. That's a requirement. So that's already more than a full-time job.
Well, luckily my place doesn't ask me that over. I would be
But
like,
basically what I'm getting to is
"Oh."
like I couldn't really stay in that industry and really, I mean, I could have, but it would have been extremely
No, that's a tough industry,
tough
man.
to stay in that industry, make enough money to hold down my family and pursue entrepreneurship.
But it's what you love though.
It is, and I'm gonna hit the boomerang with it. Like eventually, when I'm done with all my entrepreneurship, that's what this is about right here. That's why I got my new Ray and Sons little paper out right here, because we got our vending machines going on. So, and then I'm also working on. I want to bring in a snackerant. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I haven't brought that up in a long time. We need the snackerant where it's gonna be like a I want to make it like a teenage hangout where there's like anime on the TV and foosball tables, pool tables. They can whatever card game is popular at the time, whether it's World of Warcraft or whatever. I'm not a card person, so I don't know which one's the in one right now, but whatever Dungeons and Dragons or card game, just whatever's hip at the time, get it, maybe a couple consoles, if the area is big enough, I would love to have like nighttime events for the teens, like open mic for the teens and stuff like that. But the main reason for the snackerant is to have a place for teenagers to hang out and a place for them to indulge in some good healthy snacks and kind of brighten their mind. Like I would still be there kind of, I'm sure Jess would be have her little soapbox moments every once in a while. Being
I don't know
there.
what you're talking about.
But we would still be there educating the kids on like, because you're gonna get some kid that's like, why we got these no cheese puffs and we can't get some Cheetos in here? Oh, well, this is the reason why, young man. Because you got yellow 5, yellow red, you got all these chemicals in this Cheetos, and that's why we don't have those Cheetos here. But you know what? Here's one on the house. Try it out and check out the Xbox One or go play the PS4 football. Here's some quarters. Play foosball or whatever. So it's gonna be full circle. I am gonna get back to my cooking. I'm also I want to get a cookbook out as well. The Lazy Vegan. I still want to do that cookbook. So I mean I still have a passion for cooking and I want to go back to it. But like I said, I want to make sure that I'm also in a position to where when opportunities arise, I can grab the motherfuckers by the throat.
Man, yeah, man, for sure. Just like you talk about the wealth, that's what has to be built.
Yes.
To be able to run all these ideas, you got a lot of ideas.
A lot of ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta have the revenue to be able to get these things rolling. And we also gotta make sure we do just like the paperwork we're talking about that we need to get done. Those are the things, man, that we need the steps that we need to take. I haven't even had a chance to even think about that this week. That's how busy I've been. But we need to get that done and start making these steps toward what we're trying to do, and pick a situation that we really want to go for first. What's the most important? Keep your eye on that ball, and then the dominoes can start falling from there. Once you can say, all right, I can grab this one, then you grab that ball, and then everything else start coming in place. But
That's
I'm
usually
with you.
how it happens.
But that's how it is, man.
Yeah.
But you got to have that first goal. Like, all right, this is the most important goal. We're going to focus on this 100%. And everything we do, everything we're about is going to be about this. Because I always say, because me, man, I'm absent-minded. I'll forget everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I get so focused on one thing that I just forget about everything else. It's just gone because that's all I'm fucking thinking about. But I get it done. Then once that's done, I can say, what's the next task? And then we can move on to the next task. And that's just how you build it slowly. It's slow. And you may not be able to do everything you want to do that year. You still got things you're like, damn, I still have a couple things that I want to do. But the most important thing is that you made the vast steps toward your final goals.
Start checking boxes.
Yeah, man. And like I said, you don't want to put too much on your plate. You know what I mean? And that's the main thing, because it's just you will never get there.
It's
because
hard not
you
to.
have so much that you're trying to do that you just, you know what I'm saying, you're across the board and none of them get done. And that's how it works, because you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, and you just do small pieces of all these things, but none of them get finished. So that's why you just say, all right, this one, we're going to do it all the way to the finish. We're not going to stop until this shit is done. Once this shit is done, then we're going to move on to this next goal. We're going to be able to ball that up and go to the next one. Even, I learned that, dog, and believe it or not, from the streets, from selling drugs, because it's all about steps.
That's exactly. It's been probably,
oh shit,
I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 years since I've been really spread. But normally that's exactly how I do it, is I set a goal. But now, being at the age that I'm at and being at the experience level that I'm at, I know that I need to start setting my goals bigger, is what it is. Like, because for instance, Desertland Kids, I set a goal. I wanted to do open mics. That was my first goal, was to start Desertland Kids and have Desertland Kids hosting open mics. I achieved that goal. And then I wanted to work on the humanitarian part of it. And then I started volunteering with the Who I Am Foundation, made a really good relationship with them.
Right.
But but like I was saying, when I started I'm at a point now where I realize that I just need to start making my goals bigger,
larger, right?
Instead of
just I wanted to get Desertland Kids to this point. Say, hey, I want to get Desertland to this point, this point, this point, this point, this point. And then, so you have larger goals. But yeah, man, especially when you're trying to build this wealth, bro, it's important for even trying to build this business, Habari Entertainment, the communication and relationships that it's going to take to get this done, and the time, and all of us focused on the same projects and opportunities to try to get this shit done, man. It's only how it's going to work. We gotta all be on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you get those good people, it's like you guys, and we all just like, this is what's going on, and this is what we're trying to focus on doing. Once people start seeing that and they see everything that you guys are doing and you bringing good energy, people gonna want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? And that's all really
And
it's about, man.
that's honestly like part of the reason why I'm usually just down to do shit, because I
Mhm.
know, not that I'm doing it with the expectation of getting something in return, but I do as much as I can. Well, for 2 reasons. 1, I love new experiences.
Mhm.
That's one thing. I honestly feel like part of the meaning of life is to create memories and have experiences. The only way you're gonna be able to create memories is
Yeah,
by having new experiences.
that's real.
But the other part is also, it goes back to putting myself out there and putting myself in the path of opportunity.
Mhm.
So I'm almost always down to do some stuff. And if I tell you I'm loyal and I tell you that I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Now I'm sorry, Patrick. I might be late sometimes. I'm not gonna
Oh.
lie. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
gonna
Patrick
lie.
does not like being late, huh?
Sometimes I'm late.
Ooh.
I mean, he didn't really give me any grief, but I was
Yeah,
pretty
but
late
he don't
to the
like that,
first
man.
Fridays.
I
Yeah,
found that out yesterday,
he's a
man.
punctual person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's very punctual. He wants you to
but
be on time.
I'll be there. I may be 3 hours late to the 5 hour function,
Oh my goodness.
but I'll be there.
You're not that bad.
Shouldn't be that
Nah, I'm
late,
not that
man.
bad. I'm not that
I, I
bad.
was I was like 8 minutes late. I could tell by his face he was not happy. And then he was calling me on my other phone. Like, bro, I had to go home for a second, bro. You know what I mean? Sometimes things happen. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
I'm pretty on time, pretty
yeah, yeah,
much for
yeah.
everything. But sometimes
You're
things happen.
usually here before me, that's for sure.
Yeah,
There's been like
you
maybe
try to
two
be.
or three
That's
times.
that's I was telling my nephew this morning. I mean, he looked at me like I'm crazy. Like, you have to be punctual on everything. You like
Mhm.
y'all go in your room, your room's a mess, your closet's a mess, your shit everywhere. That's your life.
Right?
He's like, what? And I'm like, that's your life. This is how your life is. Because you're not punctual about things. You're not crossing your I's and dotting your T. Crossing your T's,
Mhm.
dotting your I's. You're not doing those things because you could tell by how you living.
Right,
If
right.
you're living right, you get up and you get these things done because that's how you living. You just
Mhm.
living like this. I wake up and I get shit done.
It was like, was it last week or the week before when we were talking about making your bed?
Right. Exactly.
Like when you wake up, you make your bed, and
That's step one.
that's step 1, and it's psychologically, it gets you in the mental state of accomplishing things and
Right.
getting shit done,
Getting goals
because you
done.
get up, if that's the first thing you did, now you've accomplished something. It
Something.
doesn't matter if you don't accomplish anything else for the rest of the day, you accomplished at least one thing today, you made your
Right.
bed.
And that's what it's about, man. And people, I don't get discouraged. I know we don't get discouraged when you're trying to uh, be the best person you're trying to be, or you're trying to get to the best position in life, wealth wise, health wise, job wise. Don't get discouraged, man, because every day is a step towards what you're trying to get to. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Just long as if it's small step, whatever, regardless of the goal, you every day you're getting closer. And the plan is at the end of whatever time frame you've given yourself, or if you haven't given yourself a frame, you get there at the end and you accomplish that goal.
Right.
That's all it's about, man.
And that's
Getting
exactly
things
why I got
done.
that written up on my wall. Is, like you said, it doesn't matter if it's a big step or a little step.
Hmm.
Don't give up. Just keep moving forward.
Right.
Just believe that you're gonna get to the finish line.
Mhm. And it's a lot of intelligence based into it too. Because think about it, I used to rap. Used to rap.
I
Um,
dabble a
so
little bit.
So I tried to go hard. I tried to make it
Mhm.
because you know what I mean. My thing is, dude, if I ain't doing it, what am I doing this for? If not doing it to
Right,
make it,
right.
I'm just not. I'm just doing this. So I failed, but I saw there was no future. Like
Mhm.
you got to see, you know what I'm saying. Like sometimes it you may fail.
Right,
You may
right.
say, "Damn, maybe this isn't the right path for me."
Mhm.
I've spent this much time. I'm looking at what I'm doing. I'm looking at the current trajectory of how everything is going. I'm looking at where I'm at and where other people are at in my city and where I need to go and where I need to get. And you figure
Mhm.
out, no, that's not for me.
Right.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with
And
this route.
that's
But you,
basically how it was with the cooking. I mean,
yeah.
not necessarily cooking in general, but cooking under those guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still have a couple of my chef buddies and stuff like that on social media, and it's like, yeah, they're not to like put any of them down. A lot of them, they look like they're very happy at what
Mhm.
they're doing and everything like that. But it's just like I'm not like it's. Already lived that life as an employee.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't want to be a manager. No, it's just not
Being a
like
manager for a restaurant is not the not
yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing you
yeah.
wanna do,
And it's
honestly.
even is and it's even worse when you're a back of the house manager because the front of the house managers, well, if you're in a good place, the front of the house managers will work with you and they respect you and everything like that. But a lot of
Mhm.
the time, it's I don't know if anybody guys seen the meme, but there was this meme going around where it was like all these catering looking servers and stuff like that. They're all happy. They got the champagne flutes and stuff like that. They're like, front of the house workers. And then there was a picture on the bottom, and it was the Pirates of the Caribbean. It
That's
said
it.
back of the house workers.
Right.
There's usually a line like that, you know what I mean? And it's it's not often that you get into a kitchen and there's that full respect all around, and not even necessarily as far as person to person respect, but also respect as far as like what is my wage compared to this person, because being a chef and being on the line, I'm doing a hell of a lot more shit than your front assistant floor manager who's
Mhm.
probably making the same as me, if not
Or
more
more.
or more.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not the ones that like even when you're a chef, unless you're in a high end place or resort type stuff, if you're at a regular restaurant, you're in the trenches with your people
Mhm.
as a chef.
Yep.
You know what I
It's
mean?
required.
I overheard a conversation the other day where this manager was they just hiding out in the office. Like when you're a front of house manager, you can kind of get away with that. You can go hide in the office and act like you're busy. They got some places where the office is locked. The manager has to open up the door for you, so you can't even catch them doing bullshit
Wow.
because they in there with the door locked. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? They probably got the I ain't even gonna get into all that. Probably know where the cameras are and all that stuff. But anyways, so we just want to make sure here at Wealth for Generations that you guys know that there's plenty of options for self care, and make sure that you incorporate it into your life, whether you're battling in the trenches in the kitchen, or you got engineering and IT work you got to do. You got deadlines, whether you got people's butts to clean, you know, whatever it is that you got that you have to do that you may not want to do every single day, just make sure that you take the time for yourself to detach from it every once in a while.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to necessarily even be every single day you detach, but make sure within like that week, do something. Do something. Here's a couple more options you guys got, or not options, but here's a couple benefits of self-care. So, five benefits of self-care. Slowing down makes you more productive, meaning if you're a person like me who will work 70 hours in 6 days, if I slow down on that one day and take some time for me and rest, I'll be better productive that following week opposed to if I just work 7 days straight and just keep going.
Which you tend to do anyway.
I do sometimes. It's been a crazy summer.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy summer. Self-care actual also will help boost your immune system. So I'll use the same analogy as like overworking your body. If you're not getting the proper rest and you're not getting the proper nutrients into your body because you're working so much, it can put your immune system in jeopardy. Right, Dip?
Yeah.
That's why I like juicing. When I'm feeling tired and run down,
hmm
I know if I juice, it's gonna give me that natural energy,
Right,
you
right.
know, so
Actually, I'm running off of that this morning right now. All juice energy right now.
Mhm.
Self-care actually improves your self-compassion as well. So there's a lot of people out there, and you don't always consciously do it. Hopefully you don't consciously do it at all. Um, but some people don't really have compassion for themselves.
Mhm.
You know, I've definitely been one of those people who I like to use myself as an example. So recently, like doing this yard work, there's been times where I'm like, man, I haven't had water in a minute, but I got just that little patch of weeds to pull.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm thinking about the fact that I haven't had water, I probably should be drinking water. Like I shouldn't even be thinking. If the thought has popped in while I'm outside doing physical labor, I should just go drink it. But sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna just finish this patch real quick and then I'll go get water. But with proper self care, I would be more compassionate for myself and know that I shouldn't be pushing. I mean, I do know, but I wouldn't. There's a better chance that I wouldn't push myself to go finish that patch, knowing that I'm in an Arizona desert in the summer pulling weeds. But is there any is there any examples you can think of, Jess, for yourself or in
For
general,
like what I like to do for myself
as far as
or
something
just in general ideas. Yeah, I think I
either
threw a lot
either
of it out there.
something connected to like self compassion. I
Oh,
meant, yeah.
self-compassion. Just, knowing that you're worth whatever it is that you need, you don't have to justify it. I think that, we're grow when we grow up, we're raised to not be selfish. You have to share, and you learn to put yourself second a lot. And there's a certain amount of shame that comes with that when you start wanting to take care of yourself.
Mhm.
You put that on yourself, and other people probably don't really care if you're taking an hour-long bath or something.
Right,
But
right.
you're like, you hear the kids out there, and you're like, "Oh, I should be out there." So just knowing that you're worth it, the same way you wanna take care of other people in your life that you love, you should be doing the same for yourself. And
Definitely.
if somebody really loves you and cares about you, they'll want that for you as well.
Yeah, they'll understand. They'll
Mhm.
understand that you need that time. Like Aisha needs to understand, Dib, that you need a bubble bath every once in a while.
No,
Pour a little lavender in there and some Epsom
nah,
salt. You be good, bro. You be
yeah,
good.
no, I can't do it. I've probably been taking a bath, nothing like that since I was like 5, man, 6.
Man, I think last probably when we were in Vegas. I
Yeah,
think it was
that
the
tub
last
was
time I was in
huge,
the tub.
though. That
Yeah,
was
it
I
was.
was in the hot.
amazing.
I've been in the hot tub.
No, it was we had a suite. So it
Oh
was one of
yeah,
them big old like in suite tubs.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
splurged that time.
in
When
the
I
middle of the
laid
Well,
room.
down
we budget splurged.
It
when I
was in the
laid
middle of the room.
down, I couldn't even
It was
touch
like the
from one end
corner.
to the
Oh,
other.
oh yeah, was that big?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, not
Like
that I'm that tall, but it
I
was
had one.
probably at least 7 feet
It's a
yeah.
hot tub in the middle of
long.
the room.
It felt awesome though, because I could just sit like this, have my legs out, and like, I'm used to being in like house tubs where you probably got the same thing. If you ever sit down in one, you just
Yeah, that little shit.
got your
Yeah,
little knees up, you just like,
yeah.
and you
I've
just feel.
had big ones though, the big corner ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever
and then the
had
one
a big corner one,
with the
like
shower
owned one,
next to it.
or not owned, but lived in it. That's
Yeah,
kind of how
those
ours are.
aren't that they're not that big though, honestly. Like the
Nah.
one in the hallway, the just standard bathtub, it's
Mhm.
way longer than the one
Than the one we
we
got.
have in our room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you got to fit the shower and the tub.
Hmm.
But I think he's talking about the one that's like in the corner, not the
Mhm.
one that's like down. But even those, they're probably. I mean, depending on it's got to depend on the bathroom setup, you
Yeah.
know. But also in taking self care, you don't take self care, but when you indulge yourself with your self care, another benefit of it is you start to really realize this as you find out, but you start to realize and you remember who you are. Because sometimes you can get so caught up in your work and you just forget who you are. You don't have to be this CEO, or you don't have to be this worker all the time. Yeah, you got deadlines and stuff. That's cool, but you need to still take some time, take some self care, and do what you like. you want to go build some Legos, go build some Legos. And now you're like, oh yeah, I do remember I can build. I like tinkering with stuff. I like rebuilding stuff. This is cool. I should do this more often. Actually, I got a pretty good example. I actually took my son to the movies the other day to go see Dragon Ball. It was freaking awesome. But starting to, remember and realize who you are, speaking about young Gohan, he was pushed to the brink and he had to remember who he was. He was that 13-year-old motherfucker that killed Cell. And he proved, ooh, ooh. I ain't gonna say nothing if y'all ain't seen the movie. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. So and then also it will it'll let you have more to give to others. Kind of like what I said before, like you can't give to others if you can't take care of yourself. If you don't have the right amount of rest and stuff like that, then how are you going to have the energy to take care of others? So here are some examples of self-care. I think this is when you said you enjoy, right? Taking a bath. You can do a detox bath. Epsom salt bath are incredibly stress reducing. It's almost you can do similar to the float
Yeah,
therapy,
I put
even
a
though
ton in mine.
yeah, you might not be able
Mm-mm.
to get in there and fully emerge unless you're like, a midget. But you can still um take part in the stress reducing part of it and the calming part of it, even if you're not floating. So you can be at home and do an Epsom salt bath and put some lavender in there or some eucalyptus and light your candles. And if you're a crystal person, get all your crystals ready and burn some sage and all that stuff until one of the kids busts in the bathroom like, mom, 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 look what I can do. Bye.
I like to actually make chamomile and lavender tea and
Hmm.
put that in the water.
Oh, snap. A little
Yeah.
chamomile and lavender tea.
Mhm.
Extra relaxing.
Yep, and some oats.
And some oats.
I put it in like a mesh bag, so
I
you
don't know
just
about
get
that one.
like
What does that do?
it's good for your skin.
Oh,
So it makes your skin nice and smooth. It's moisturizing.
smooth.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know about the oats.
Yeah.
And then we have another one, which is meditate. Do either of you guys ever meditate?
I tried
Yeah.
multiple times.
No,
My head
it's
is
not
too
my.
busy.
I wouldn't say I necessarily meditate in the general sense of meditation as most common people think. I'm not like sitting in my backyard in lotus stance floating above the earth or anything like that or the surface. But there's times where I'll take a moment in my car or in the bathroom or anywhere where I can be alone and quiet and just close my eyes and just take a few deep breaths and just try not to think about anything except for breathing. And that is a form of meditation.
It is actually. If you have like a high stress job, there's breath work that you can do to help relax your vagus nerve, as well as yoga. Some
Mm,
yoga stretches that you can do because when you're stressed out, your vagus nerve, which is goes from the base of your head, it hits your gut. I mean, it goes to all your organs, but that's why like people that have high stress jobs usually
got no
have gut
neck.
problems. No,
Oh,
they usually have problems with
so they got
their
no neck because they're like, "Arr."
yeah, that too. So when you can get yourself to relax after a stressful day, that's a huge form of self care, and that can be done
Mhm.
within minutes in your own home.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you feel like you got a high stress job, look into some breathing exercises. Like I
Mhm.
said, like I don't meditate in the general sense, but I really feel like that does help me sometimes. We all deal with anger and stress and frustration, and when I'm feeling overwhelmed, that's something I like to do.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And then we also have nurture yourself, which when I first read that, I was kind of confused. So I was like, nurture. So like what? I couldn't even think of an example. But it says, look at your diet, find out where the gaps are, and consider supplements. Even the best diets include supplements. So, to be honest, I still fully don't understand how this is connected, but it's good information. So, self care, making sure you have, because we're all built, every person, you're just a bunch of chemicals and
Cells.
cells and just a whole universe inside of you, right? And your universe needs certain things to function properly.
Mhm.
So when we have our diets, there's certain things we may cut out. We may cut out a certain type of ingredient in our diet because we're looking at the ingredients, but there may be something in that ingredient that we need the nutrients from. So you may be taking out this, but now for some reason you're lacking iron because this had iron in it. So just make sure, if you are on any diets, any special diets or anything like that, one of the self-care options you have is just to look into your diet, talk to your local physician or however you want to go about it.
Get blood work
You
done.
can get blood work done and just find out and see if you're low on anything, because sometimes um, I can't really tell you exactly what the answer is, but I know there's certain um, deficiencies that can affect your anxiety, it can affect your depression, it can affect your moods, it can affect your energy levels.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling not like yourself, if you're feeling extra tired, if you're feeling extra angry or extra depressed or anything like that, and you can't think of a source, like I feel like I always get kind of down around this time of the year because it's my boy Huck's birthday tomorrow. So that is explanatory. But if you're just like, I don't know why I feel down, I don't know why I feel tired all of a sudden, look at your diet and see if you're lacking something. And then possibly look into purchasing some supplements. And that is also self care. So another thing is creativity. So whether it's cooking, baking, doing a DIY project, arts and crafts, whatever it is, some people like doing stuff with their hands. It could even be some tinkering. So if you want to break something down and rebuild it, whatever it is. And then also, last but not least, there's moving.
Mhm.
So just get out there and move sometimes,
Take a
take,
walk barefoot in the
yep,
grass.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Go take a barefoot walk. You can go outside and and a lot of places out here, man, if you go outside and just walk 5-10 minutes, you might find a nice little grassy shaded area. You can do some stretching, some yoga, some meditation out there.
Mhm.
Just get out there and move your body, even if it's in your backyard. Preferably not if you have one of those all dirt backyards.
Or rocks.
Well, no, you can go on rocks. I just feel like an all dirt backyard isn't gonna be like, look at my backyard. It's
Yeah.
dirt and gray brick.
Mhm.
Yay. You want to do something where it's an inviting environment,
Space.
you
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's good to connect with the earth. So if you can lay on the ground, sit on the ground, walk barefoot. Um,
Rock is Where does rock come from?
I'm not gonna walk barefoot on the
You can sit
rocks.
on the rocks.
I probably wouldn't do that.
But you don't do that regularly. I bet you Dan would be down to walk on rocks. He went
Maybe he
hiking
used to.
barefoot with us.
Yeah, but
He's probably
it's been a
sensitive now.
while. Yeah. But
He's like, "Where's the embers at? I'm
mhm.
walking on coals."
Yeah, that's a huge stress reducer though, is just to be out in the grass,
Mhm, mhm.
get some sunshine, vitamin D.
So the moral of the story, though, is for self-care, just do something that you love or makes you feel good, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Mhm.
You
Because
got
there's
like
some
10.
10 minutes.
I gave you an extra 10 because I know we was talking shit.
Oh.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. That's perfect then, because I actually just finished up that segment and I want to spotlight somebody. We are at the We Building Boy segment of the day. And I got a special spotlight. And actually I'm gonna go a little quick for the spotlight. Um, Feel free to comment or whatever if you need more information or just go back through the viewing. But I gotta do my special announcement too. So I'm gonna go a little fast through this. We Building Boy. So since we're talking about self-care today on Wealth for Generations, I would like to spotlight someone very special to me. This person has been there for me as long as I can remember, and maybe even before that. No matter what, he has always had my back. He is a loving husband, father, son, uncle, and most importantly to me, he is my big brother. So, or so he's blah, 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 blah. He is Mr. Alonzo Lee, or if you're cool enough to know him well, he's Zoe. So, my brother has created a page for the self care hack book. If you guys are interested at all in getting some free, or actually not free, but he figured out a way to get paid for his self care act. So, if you don't have one, maybe you can figure out one for yourself after this example. So, about 5 years ago, Alonzo got serious about his fitness and exercise. He tried different fitness classes, but fell in love with a cycle class. He started cycling class. He started attending cycling classes over 2 years ago, and he has been an instructor for almost a year. He enjoyed cycling because it's a great cardio workout, and the music really motivates him. In his classes, it's like a party on a bike, using his own personally selected playlists. A few benefits of cycling are it's a low impact exercise, it boosts your endurance, and it's great cardio. It's a great sweat. It's always fun, and pretty much anyone can do it. He says he has had attendees ranging from 13 years old all the way up to someone in their 60s. So there's no, I mean, there's a slight age restriction because you got to be in the gym, but there's really no age restriction for the exercise. To attend the class, you got to be a certain age. But to do the exercise itself, there's really no age restriction to it. So Mr. Alonzo Lee, he holds classes with eSporta slash LA Fitness. You can find him at or you can find him at the Avondale location on Thursdays at 9:15 a.m. That is 13035 West Rancho Santa Boulevard, Avondale, Arizona. And on Fridays, he's at the Desert Sky location at 9:45 a.m., which is located at 7640 West Thomas Road, Phoenix, Arizona. And just to give you guys a little side note, I did he was kind of waiting to announce this, but I found it on your Facebook, Buck. So I'm telling everybody, look out for kickboxing.
Okay.
He's got the manual. He's doing the due diligence. He's going to get certified. I know he's going to do it because my brother, when he puts his mind to something, he achieves it.
Mm.
So keep an eye out for that. He's going to be doing the cycling, and soon enough, he's going to be certified to do the kickboxing classes as well. But that's a freaking crazy hack right there. I feel like he figured out a way to get in his fitness and get paid for it.
Most definitely.
If that ain't a self-care hack, I don't know what is. That is dope.
Hey, I just imagine your hair on him, and he's you. Y'all are fucking twins, bro.
He looks pretty much like me. I mean, I got
Dude,
like
y'all
5 inches on him.
I don't think you guys look
No, not
alike at
5.
all.
You don't?
No?
You're tripping.
I don't.
They look like twins.
So if you guys are still here and you're still attending and you're waiting for that special announcement, that's why I don't like that drum. But here we go. Special announcement. So next week, excuse me, next week we have a giveaway for you guys. I have a special guest coming on next week. Her name is Destiny. I'm sorry if I mess up your name, but Okiki. Destiny Okiki. She is a credit specialist. So she is going to be doing a giveaway for her ebook. She's going to be doing a free giveaway for her ebook called Credit from the Ground Up. And it all you have to do is just watch the show. There will be a question at the beginning of the show next Sunday. If you can answer the question in the comments, all you have to do is answer the question and provide let me double check real quick. I'm going to need your email address and your name so we can send it to you. It's an instant download ebook. So make sure you tune in next Sunday. I'm going to have a question for you at the beginning of the show. You got to listen to the show. The answer will be in the show. First person to comment the answer on the show in the comment box, you will get the free prize, which is a free ebook from Miss Destiny Okiki's business called Credit from the Ground Up. So make sure you guys are here next Sunday if you want something for free. It's free stuff. Well, with that being said, I think we are pretty much out of time. I just want to give my applause to my lovely guest, Miss Jess. We're going to give one more to the engineer of all engineers, Mr. Dip to the lean.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, thank you. And then one more, and this one is for you guys. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for just being you. And don't forget to take care of yourself. And on that note, peace.